Let's talk about work. The work in front of you is, say, your homework at the moment. You can do that really well with all your heart. And what that looks like is you're diligent in it. You keep your head down, almost physically and literally, towards your paper. You stay focused. And you're asking yourself as you go, am I doing this with all my heart? Am I really pushing myself? That doesn't mean you're pushing yourself into the ground, you're working yourself dead, but it means, am I giving this my best effort? Yes, you can still get a C. Yes, you can still get a B. You don't have to always get A's, but you are working really hard with all your heart. That's not the only way to work, though. Say you need to mow the lawn. Say you need to take out the trash or make your bed. Are you working at it with all your heart? If you're making your bed, you're not cutting corners, you're not leaving wrinkles, you're not just throwing the sheet over towards your pillow. You're saying, how would God like me to do this to the best of my abilities? Well, make it as neat as you can, as smooth as you can. If you take out the trash, you take it out quickly, you take it out neatly, you do it just the way your mom and dad want. If you're mowing the lawn, you make straight rows. You do it carefully. You work on getting sweaty. You know it's hard work. You do a good job. That's good quality work. You're in that moment of work, and so God says, do it with all your heart. Not with part of your heart. You're all in. You're not always working, but when you're working, you are all in. How do you rest well? Well, you rest with all your heart. You're in a moment of rest, so do it really, really well. Here's the thing, though. Some things that we think are rest aren't really rest. Some things are actually draining you. They're sucking life out of you. You're not really resting. Resting should be rejuvenation. Resting should be growth. Resting should be a sense of thankfulness and eagerness for what comes next, for what comes on Monday. But sometimes we can be engaging in activities that are actually sucking the life out of us. I watched the documentary Water recently, and in it was a pretty amazing and disturbing segment on the way God created the giant water bug. And the water bug under the water grabs its prey, stabs it with its proboscis, and then liquefies the insides of its prey. It might be a toad, for instance, that it grabs. And then it sucks it up like a Slurpee, a smoothie. Think of that water bug as the wrong kind of rest. It's sucking life out of you rather than putting life into you. You can think of an activity that you might do in your rest time, and it could be done really well in a life-giving way or really badly in a life-sucking way. Take sleep, for instance. Sleep is, I think, one of the great gifts of God, and it can be done with a great sense of thankfulness. You hit the sack, you are so tired, and you sleep, and then the next morning you're rejuvenated and raring to go for the next day. Or you could hit the sack probably pretty late, and because it's the only thing left to do and you can't keep your eyes open anymore, and then you don't wake up for a while in the morning because you're avoiding what's coming that day. You don't like what's ahead that day, so you stay in bed during the morning as much as you can. Those are both sleep. They're both a gift, but one is done poorly. One is actually the water bug life-sucking version of sleep. The other is the life-giving version of sleep that God gave us. You could apply this to any form of rest. So the question is, how do you know that you're resting the right way? Think of it in terms of, what is the rest for? Is it because you're really thankful and you're really looking forward to what's coming after the rest and what just came before the rest? Or are you resting because you hate what came just before and you're discontent about things generally and you are not looking forward to what's coming after? That could create a sort of whirlpool of staying inside this spinning phony rest miasma that's tough to get out of. That's probably not a life-giving rest. God reminds us, I've given you work as a gift and I've given you rest as a gift. Whichever one of those you're doing, do it with thankfulness, do it with all your heart, and then He'll be faithful to us. It's baby steps in the same direction every single day. Not every day is is wonderful. Not every day is easy, and that's okay. But God tells us if we're faithful to Him, He'll be faithful to us. Do it with all your heart. He's with you.